Since the start of the chip war between China and the United States, technological friction between China and the United States has intensified. In particular, the United States' export restrictions on China's high-performance chips have brought certain troubles to the development of Chinese companies. As one of China's largest technology companies, Huawei has been the most directly affected. At the same time, the United States-owned suppliers also had to pay a huge price. The importance of the Chinese market cannot be ignored, whether for Chinese companies or American companies. Therefore, the CEOs of some well-known American chip manufacturers have jointly gone to the White House, hoping to relax restrictions on the Chinese market through lobbying and negotiation. However, whether it is lobbying or negotiation, in the atmosphere of tense Sino-US relations, the U.S. government has not given much response or concession. On the contrary, the U.S. government has become more forceful in demanding decoupling from China's semiconductors to further curb China's technological development. Recently, the U.S. government has further strengthened its export restrictions on artificial intelligence chips, forcing some U.S. companies to consider changing their strategies. Nvidia chose to launch a special edition chip. Faced with U.S. government restrictions, Nvidia decided not to sit still and planned to launch 3 low-end versions of artificial intelligence chips to continue to support Chinese customers. These special edition chips are actually reduced performance versions, and Nvidia has had to compromise on chip performance in order to circumvent restrictions. Although such an approach may cause dissatisfaction among Chinese customers, Nvidia clearly sees the urgent need for artificial intelligence chips in the Chinese market. For the United States, the high-performance chips previously launched by Nvidia have been included in the control list, which explains the main reason why the United States prohibits Nvidia from exporting high-performance chips to the Chinese market. Therefore, Nvidia chose to reduce chip performance in order to be able to bypass this restriction and continue to provide chip products to Chinese customers. In the face of U.S. government restrictions, Nvidia decided to take proactive measures to continue to support Chinese customers. They plan to launch 3 special edition AI chips, which are versions with reduced performance. To get around the limitations, Nvidia had to compromise on chip performance. For the U.S. government, the high-performance chips previously launched by Nvidia have been included in the control list, which shows the main reason why the United States bans Nvidia from exporting high-performance chips to the Chinese market. In this context, Nvidia chose to reduce chip performance in order to be able to bypass this restriction and continue to provide chip products to Chinese customers. Of course, Nvidia is also clearly aware that reducing chip performance may cause dissatisfaction among Chinese customers, but what they value more is the urgent demand for artificial intelligence chips in the Chinese market. Nvidia hopes to gain more business opportunities with Chinese customers like Huawei through this method. Although Nvidia's move can circumvent the chip ban, the performance of the chip has been significantly reduced by about 80%. This will undoubtedly have a certain impact on Chinese customers, because they are buying high-priced low-end chips. For the Chinese market, this is not a long-term solution, because this situation cannot effectively promote the development of China's artificial intelligence industry, but may instead become a slowing down phenomenon. Under the current situation, the Chinese market needs to speed up the research and development of artificial intelligence chips and strive to get rid of its dependence on imported chips, thereby minimizing the impact of American chips on China's artificial intelligence industry. As the People's Daily said, core technologies cannot be bought by foreign countries, and foreign companies cannot rely on them. China must give up its illusions and increase its efforts in independent research and development. Only by mastering core technologies can it have adequate response capabilities in the face of various crises. At present, China's hardcore technology companies represented by Huawei have launched research and development of high-performance AI chips and have achieved certain results. Although China still has some technological gaps and production capacity bottlenecks in the field of chips, with the advancement of technology and the strengthening of state support, Chinese scientists are expected to make greater breakthroughs in the near future. Once China's local high-end AI chips begin to achieve large-scale mass production, the Chinese market will no longer be overly dependent on U.S. chip supply. This will pose a certain threat to American companies, making it impossible for them to export products as easily as now. Therefore, China must accelerate the improvement of its own scientific and technological strength and increase investment in research and development of chip technology to ensure that China has a greater say in the field of artificial intelligence chips. The chip war between China and the United States has become the focus of the current technology community. It has not only set off a geopolitical and economic ecological change, but also challenged the innovation strength and technological independence of Chinese technology companies. In this battle, nvidia, as the world's dominant artificial intelligence chip, faces a huge dilemma. In order to continue to serve Chinese customers, they launched special edition chips with reduced performance. Although it may cause dissatisfaction among Chinese customers, they value the urgent needs of the Chinese market. However, for the Chinese market, relying on imported low-end chips is not a long-term solution. China must accelerate the research and development of its own chip technology to reduce its dependence on imported chips in order to truly achieve control and independent development of the artificial intelligence industry. At present, China has achieved certain results in the field of high-performance chips and is expected to achieve greater breakthroughs in the future. Once China's local high-end artificial intelligence chips achieve large-scale mass production, the Chinese market will no longer be overly dependent on U.S. chip supply, thereby posing a technological threat to the United States. Therefore, Chinese technology companies need to increase investment in R&D and master more core technologies to cope with various challenges.